Good afternoon. In fact, it's already good evening. Good evening, everyone. We are running 15 minutes late. Chairman, as we agreed that I'll try to make it up and try to be on time. The topic of my today's discussion is to discuss the role of distributed artificial intelligence in the future of transport. And I come from the transport planning background. I run the transport planning business for Aurecon in Middle East. So when we talk about future of transport, as a transport planner, we always think of the future of transport is driverless. I think the world is going into the driverless vehicle environment. One misconception that people have when we talk about driverless vehicles, they always associate that with the driverless cars. Driverless vehicle doesn't necessarily mean driverless cars. It could be driverless metros, I think, which already exist at the point. It could be driverless GRTs and PRTs. If you go in Mazda, driverless GRTs and PRTs are existing. In the future, you will see the Blue Water Development of Dubai get there is working on the driverless GRT and PRT. So I think driverless technology has proven itself very well when it comes to a very dedicated corridor system. The challenge which the world has is basically how these driverless vehicles will operate in a mixed environment or mixed traffic environment. That's why if you see the driverless buses and driverless cars, these are the areas where a lot of technological tests and progressions have been happening. I think the driverless buses environment, companies like Oli and Easy Miles, they have already proven that this technology is happening, and there are a lot of pilot tests happening around the world. Driverless cars, I think this is what we'll discuss today about how this distributed artificial intelligence will be very important in terms of providing the data for the driverless cars to work into the environment. Again, I think driverless cars, this is nothing new, although we have been hearing about this for last 10 years, but experiment on driverless cars are happening for last 100 years. In 1920, the first experiment around driverless car happened. In 1950, there was the first pilot run was done on driverless cars environment. But I think over the last 10 years, we have started seeing the real disruption after Google came up with the project of Waymo, and they started doing the pilot runs, and other associated companies also came in the Silicon Valley. And also, I mean, to make to the point that in 2015, when they joined their first pilot run of autonomous vehicles in France, 360 miles travel was done on autonomous environment successfully without any issues. So I don't think that that's an issue now. So that's why I have said the future has already arrived. The future which was vision for last 100 years, the tests which were happening for last 100 years has already arrived, and once this is fully implemented, there will be about 80% less emission happening in terms of carbon footprint. There will be about 90% less accident, because it is a proven statistics that 90% of the accidents do happen based on the human interactions on the vehicle and human errors, and about 35 to 40% less traffic congestion in terms of the travel time saving. So the question here comes is, why autonomous vehicles? Why do we need them? Before we talk about the distributed artificial intelligence and how the data will be fed into that, I think someone asked me last week that why you guys are running about driverless cars? Why don't you focus on the safety of existing road network and operation and efficiency of the existing networks? And my answer to that guy was, since we are looking for the safety and enhanced operation, that's why we are looking forward for the driverless vehicles. So people really think that driverless vehicles and driverless cars are more media oriented and fancy things, but to be very honest, there are very solid reasons in terms of why driverless vehicles are very important for the success of the transport system. I have picked up my own 5, and there could be more than that. For me, the top 5 is, the first one is enhanced mobility. As a transport planner, for me, the most important thing is to move a person, to move a trip from point A to point B, which is the origin and destination. And one important fact with the driverless vehicles is the driverless vehicle, if I take a traffic lane generally under the human control can give you a capacity of about 2,000 vehicles per lane. And we have tested through simulation, if you run it on an autonomous environment, you can get a capacity of about 4,200 vehicles per lane. If we take the human component out of that, which means within the existing road network of any city, you can have more than twice of vehicles to be accommodated. That means all the future need of the city can be accommodated without the need of growing the network. And also, if more capacities are provided, knowing the BPR functions and knowing how volume related form, there will be a reduced congestion on the road network. And also autonomous vehicles and driverless vehicles, since they will have all the data and background information through the iCloud and Internet of Things and those kind of servers, that means they will be very effective in choosing the best route, which is one of the key problems in today's world. I think when we as individuals make a choice to move from our origin and destination, we move it through our perception. We don't really use the scientific method, although we have started using Google Maps, but they are still, to be very honest, not really the real time. There's a lot of improvement which can happen to that. So I think the perception part of it is really killing our connectivity and mobility. So once we have once we take out the human component out and we bring the autonomous environment in, it will enhance the mobility. Value of time, I think in UAE, average value of time is about 50 to 60 dirhams per hour on an average, and about 1 hour and 45 minutes are spent on an average by each and every person making the trip during a day in the traffic. That means 100 dirhams in a single day is lost by each and every individual who makes trip in Dubai. And if you multiply with the population of Dubai of 2.6 or 2.8 million, imagine the economic losses which are happening to the city because of all these conditions happening in the travel time losses. So again, I mean, that time, and human or not human, human time can be used in a much more efficient way rather than trying to put them on the driving. So if you take out that time and use that in a more productive way, then obviously that will help in boosting the economy of any country or any city. Safety, very important factor. As I mentioned earlier, 90% of the accidents they do happen because of the human errors. So once you take the human component out, that will definitely boost the safety factor. Urban planners are literally going to love the autonomous vehicles coming in, because the biggest challenge, particularly in the developed part of the world, is there is no space to grow the existing transport networks. And once we get the autonomous vehicles, as I mentioned earlier, the lane capacity will be reduced. That will obviously help in more public realm and optimizing the urban space. Environmental sustainability, about 80% lesser addition. But this looks all good and fancy in terms of what will be achieved. But how can we achieve it? So what does it really mean for autonomous vehicles? Autonomous vehicles will have to interact into 3 different layers. They need to interact with the autonomous behavior of the vehicles itself, which means the machines and robotic, the learning and reasoning and the sensing part of it. And the autonomous vehicle will have to interact with the person sitting within the car, and also pedestrian people moving outside the vehicle, which is human interaction. Autonomous vehicle has to interact with the infrastructure around it, which is whether it's iCloud or whether it is sitting on individual servers or signals or anything around it. So there is a lot of interaction which is required, which makes the whole system a bit more complex. So if I take an autonomous vehicles for an example, in Dubai you have got about 500,000 trips that do happen during a single peak hour time. So imagine if all these vehicles were autonomous, then the one single vehicle will have to speak to the vehicles beside it. It needs to communicate with the satellite server, it needs to communicate with your Apple iWatch, it needs to communicate with the iPhone, whether it needs to so there's a lot of interaction happening. And once as AI professionals, we can clearly see whenever there is an interaction between 2 nodes, that results into a data, that results into a computation time, that results into the need of storage of that data. So that is why once the autonomous vehicle will come, I think the most important part of the success of these vehicles will be data. Where to get these data, how do we store these data, how these data will communicate along with each other, and also I think since autonomous vehicles will get data from different sources, it will be very important how are we going to cross-verify all these data, because it might be possible that one source is faulty and another source is authentic. So how does these vehicles know that which one is authentic and which one is faulty? And again, autonomous vehicles are going to carry humans, so there is no room for bug or error. I mean, you cannot really say, oh, we missed it, data was wrong, that's why we crashed it. That's why I think AI and data is an integral part of the success of these autonomous vehicles, and particularly when they are running in a mixed environment. Technology has evolved over the last 60-70 years. In 1950, we were talking about mainframe kind of environment when there was one computer and many people can access that particular computer. In 1980s, the concept of PC came into action. in 1990s, the internet and iCloud and mobile started coming into action, where people were not only having their own PC, they were able to store the data on the iCloud, they were also communicating to each other through iCloud. But now we are going into a completely different environment, which is more of a pulsating computing or diffuse IT environment, which is called distributed artificial environment, where each and every entity within a network will have its own processor, will have its own sensing environment, and computation can happen anywhere. It can happen on all the devices, and all the single nodes within the system will be able to make their own decisions, and they can communicate with each other. So this is the kind of environment where the world is going on, and that's what the next slide says about the diffuse IT or distributed integration. In the past, it was more about a central. In 1990s, the artificial intelligence was way centralized, where the data was fed from different node, and it was sent to a main node which was sitting in the center, and all the decisions were made by the main agent node. Then came with the concept of decentralized node system, where the multi-nodes will exist, and all these different nodes will take their own decision. They can do the competition among its own, but again the decision still sits at the main node level. But now in this part of the world, we are talking about more of the distributed AI, where the whole concept is that we will have a multi-node system where each and every node will try and make their own decision, but they will be connected to each other. They will be sitting remotely, and there will be no main node, no superior or no inferior. Every node, every piece of data will be important, and all the information will be, I think from my terminology of this, is freedom within a framework. So basically all these nodes can do a parallel computing, but they will be providing the data within a certain framework, and a framework could be a project. For example, autonomous vehicle might agree that this is the kind of data which is required for different nodes, so that kind of a framework can be agreed on, which all these individual nodes. And when I talk about the individual nodes, these nodes could be mobile phone, these nodes could be your smartwatch, these nodes could be your traffic signal around you, these nodes could be a GNSS satellite information, it could be V2V technology. So these are different computing environment, but all this computing environment need to be connected with each other, because the data which will be required for autonomous vehicle to be successful is extremely important, and it is impossible to store all the data in an iCloud environment, because storage will be extremely difficult, and also the privacy part of it will also be. That's why I think if you store and compute the data in a multi-environment or multi-node function, that's how the whole system is going to work together. So how this DAI will be used in the future of transport? I think Aurecon is particular. We are more into the transport model development. We have developed a transport model called Dubai for RTA. So I think the model which we have developed, to run that model, it takes about 36 hours to complete the model from start to finish. Okay, and one of the big reasons is there are a lot of good choice algorithms, and all these algorithms are connected in parallel. Imagine in the future, once we'll have a DI coming in, when all these algorithms can work in a parallel and clustering environment. The model which we have developed, instead of 36 hours, it might be completed in half an hour's time, because then the processing time, the model itself is about 20 GB model to store on a specific machine. But this model can be stored in a multi-agent environment, so you don't need all the information. The only thing which is required at the end is the traffic routing and assignment and model choice. That can all be done. Another example which I put over is the navigation companies, whether it's Waze, Google or RT, they're using all this data. I think now what literally happens when you select your O and D of, let's imagine you are using a Google application. You can select your origin and destination, but you don't know what really happening in the background. There's a lot of artificial intelligence, because on a network there are millions of combination of routes. So selecting a single best preferred route out of those million is not easy. There is significant algorithm and processing which is required for that to happen. And this is where DAI can play an extremely important role, that instead of just using it based on your travel time, you can use a lot of other parameters, so signal timing, your iCloud, also the other scheduling from the buses, all those information from the multi-agent can be used and inbuilt within the system to improve the navigational applications which happens today. Then in terms of traffic operations, once the autonomous vehicle will come, inshallah very soon, you will find the operation and the signals, if I take an example, will be very different in terms of the operation which exists now at the traffic signal. Now what happens is all these traffic signals are either coordinated or pre-timed, or they use a detector system to be actuated kind of environment. But in the future, what will happen is we will have technologies where all these vehicles will have their own V2V and V2I kind of technology. So what will happen is from the satellite, you will have the data coming from the satellite to the vehicle, which will tell them about their positioning, which will also tell them their exact location. And these vehicles will talk to the other vehicle through V2V technology in terms of about their route and their choices, in terms of about their positioning. And then this V2V technology will also communicate with V2I technology. V2I is basically vehicle to infrastructure. And when we talk about infrastructure, this is the real soft infrastructure. It could be your EC3 type of command center, it could be your iCloud server, or it could be your processors. And that information can be fed into the traffic signal. This traffic signal will know that, okay, let's say it's a bus priority kind of thing. They will know that bus is coming now. We need to give the priority for this particular bus. Or they can even detect that a platoon of traffic coming on. Based on that, they can adjust the traffic signal time. So that all can happen with once you have the DI fully. I mean, the DI is already there, but it's literally growing day by day. And also DI would be extremely useful in the pattern recognition. Pattern recognition is basically used in the maintenance. All these authorities, they do a regular maintenance of the infrastructure. For example, for the bridges or roads, authorities generally go at the site and check it whether the bridge is fine, the structure of the bridge has no issues, everything is perfect or not. But with the DAI, this whole system can be completely automated. You don't really need to send a human to do that detection. You can put sensors, you can put cameras. So from camera you can check the visuals of the bridge, if there is any crack or no cracks. If there is any crack, then this camera can notify back to the main server and tell the process owner that there is an issue with that. And also, for example, bridges and road, they have got their own vibration levels. So the vibration level of a perfect bridge is very different to the vibration level of a defective bridge. So from the sensor you can test it and say, oh, if there is an issue or abnormality in the vibration level, then the message can go back to the command center, and then they can use that information for the maintenance of the infrastructure. In terms of public transport, AI is already playing a lot of role with mall cards, automated fuel system. We have got a smart bus stops and bus shelter. We have got advanced public transport information, public transport signage, and in-vehicle system also plays a very important role. So in terms of public transport, it's literally happening, and biggest example is the driverless metro in Dubai. It's completely based on a driverless system, and all the background and soft IT is all work on the AI and AI kind of environment. For decision makers generally use these kind of futuristic traffic models. So once we have a DI, decision maker can make very quick decisions using the models and different scenarios, whether to build a new road, whether to do a new public transport system, how to maintain them, where do they invest. So a lot of decisions can be made quickly by using of all the data which is inbuilt within the DI multi-node or multi-agent system. But again, it's not going to be so easy. The journey to achieve these futuristic transport and whatever we have been discussing till now, there are a lot of challenges around it. The biggest challenge is the whole institutional framework, what we call this business and operator models, which we have, that who is going to really operate it and who is going to really own the whole process. And the world is fighting on this issue, that who will be the process owner of if the futuristic transport comes into the action, whether it will be a private operator or authority or whoever that, or a developer by itself. Then another thing is the amount of data which autonomous vehicles, autonomous car will require in the future will be huge, significant, and data sharing will be a key and important factor to it. Based on the 4G technology, what is the maximum speed you can achieve on a 4G technology? Is 50 MB per second. Not beyond that. That is, if you're lucky, off-peak scenario. But that would not be enough for the amount of data which is required to be communicated for autonomous vehicles. That's why 5G environment will be very critical. 5G can offer up to 20 GB per second speed in the future, which will come in 2 years' time. And that kind of technology will be required to communicate and feed equip the autonomous vehicle with proper data. And also we know that the maps which exist now, I think even if you use Google or Waze, sometimes you'll find that oh, this map is outdated. Sometimes it also misguide you rather than guiding you in a proper way. But there will be no opportunity for error once you have the autonomous vehicles. The map which will be required for this autonomous vehicle will have to work on a procedure of 000 mm. There is no room of error over there. That's why, and also not only 2D map, a 3D map will be required, because vehicle is not only interested, would not be only interested on a 2D environment, they will also be interested what is the vertical clearance and if there is the vertical obstruction and how do they cross the road and bridges and all those kind of things. Funding will be the key one, and also the telecommunication policies. Every country in the world has got a different telecommunication policy. If that is not standardized, because telecommunication companies, they are the biggest owner of the data set. If that policy is not standardized, the autonomous vehicle will be a very challenging futuristic thing. So that's why it's very important that to come into the action. That's why I think telecommunication companies will have to start opening with the authorities and start sharing the data among each other. Then there are some other key challenges as well. Robo-ethics. Robo-ethics is basically when someone is designing autonomous vehicles, there will be some ethics which will be inbuilt within the autonomous vehicle, and that ethics will be programmed by a human being, and every human being is different. My ethics is very different to the person sitting in front of me. So what kind of ethics will be built into that particular machine will depend on the human. So it is not very clear. For example, if you see this example on the screen, the car is driving, we have got a truck which is overturning and have got issue, and the pedestrian also crossing. What kind of program will that person write? Is he going to say that, okay, let's hit the truck, or is he going to say hit the person over there? A lot of examples like this. Then the machine ethics also, which is critical, is once the robo ethics is inbuilt within the system, how is machine going to behave with respect to those ethics? What will be the reaction of machine to this kind of environment? Data privacy, as I mentioned earlier, that autonomous vehicle will require huge set of data. How are they going to ensure that this data remains private? Every country has got its own privacy law. There are a lot of hacking platforms. The hacking world is getting more and more advanced. Sometimes hacking world is a step ahead of the privacy world. So I think that would be a data privacy would be an issue. Insurance is again an issue, that who is going to take the responsibility of if there is any mishappening. Is it the vehicle manufacturer? Is it the supplier of the technology? And the implementation part, this is my last slide, so I know you're looking at your watch now. Implementation is also a key one, because I think let's assume if we have to roll autonomous vehicle in a city like Dubai, you can roll it out on the external road network. Authorities or developers can agree on that. But who is going to take the responsibility of the implementation of autonomous vehicle within the parking area of a building in there? Okay. The autonomous vehicle is not going to only operate on the external road network, it also needs to operate within the buildings. And developer, I'm sure, will not be even willing to, once they have sold the property, no one will be willing to invest more infrastructure in terms of providing accessibility to these autonomous vehicles. I think implementation would be a key challenge, that who's going to pay for the full implementation. And just an example, I think we create an internal model to see what will literally happen if we have the autonomous vehicle running in Dubai. So we modeled the scenario on Sheikh Zayed Road, and Sheikh Zayed Road, which has got about 12,500 vehicles each direction during the peak hour. And even with 6 lanes, you cannot feed 12,500 vehicles. We know that Sheikh Zayed Road is congested during the peak hours. And the same traffic, when we simulated it on 4 lanes of autonomous vehicle, we found it works fine. So basically, the whole Sheikh Zayed can be squeezed from 6x6 lanes to 4x4 lanes if autonomous vehicle environment is fully implemented and operational. That will give more space to our planner for public landscaping and urban development. We also checked what will be the impact on the congestion. We did 2 scenarios. If 25% of the autonomous vehicles are across the Dubai's transport network, we found there will be about 15% decrease of the travel time and congestion. And once you model the scenario for 100% autonomous vehicles, there will be about more than 35% decrease in terms of traffic congestion across Dubai or any other network. That's pretty much from my side. I hope I was on time.
very much indeed. Thank you. Very interesting food for thought. Right, Hamad, question? Okay, anybody else? Yes.
Thank you. Just curious, you said you simulated these scenarios for Shenzhen. May I know what tool you use to make your assumptions?
We generally use Visum and Visum. We have the Dubai's Visum model for the strategic model. So what we did was, Visum model works on the capacity, the volume delay function, everything on the capacity. So we estimated the capacity of a lane. If you use the manual intervention, is about 2,000 vehicles per hour, and if you use the simulated autonomous vehicle, it can go up to 4,200 vehicles per hour. So we use that logic to calculate the demand on Sheikh Zayed Road on Visum network, and then we brought the demand on the Visum and we simulated that using the Visum 11, which have got the capability of simulating the autonomous vehicles. Yeah, that's what we did.
Thank you. You're dying to ask a question. By the way, I just need to clarify. Hamad Sarouk and I go back about close to 20 years.
So it's nothing personal, okay?
Got a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, it's really kind of exciting. What we'd like from your presentation is you saying basically the benefit from going to fully autonomous is 35. Is that based on 100% autonomous conversion, or is it with mix? And
it is 100%. That's what we tested two scenarios. If 25% is converted, you get about 15% of travel time saving. And if you do all 100% conversion, you get about 35% travel time saving. And we also consider the impact of the induced traffic. What will happen generally is once you have got fully autonomous vehicles on the ground, then there is a tendency of a drop of public transport share because you are providing a better private transport facility. So there will be more induced traffic on the private transport environment. So when we ran the model, there was some shift from public transport into the private transport. That is why it was not linearly. So it's not like 100% gives you 50 or 60%. Since there is some shift of traffic from public to private transport, that's why you see a bit lesser saving compared to what was expected.
can I ask?
Yeah.
I mean, since you will allow me, the question about the ethical policy. Okay, we keep hearing about it quite a lot. Do you personally believe that it is actually it is a technological issue, or is it more about us having to define what is our own ethical policy, which is what you mentioned, so that we can teach the machines, basically, the computers?
I think, to be very honest, I would rather say technology is there, but we as a human are not there to properly feed the technology and properly use it. Okay, so example of this autonomous vehicle 360-mile full network journey in France is clear proof that technology is there, we can do that. But I think the problem is not with the technology, problem is the human being. First of all, we don't really, I think, we are considered expert in this field. We also have some kind of doubt in the back of our mind. We are still not sure. And I always repeat one sentence, that technology is the biggest enemy of technology. So what literally happens is, if technology matures and reach to a level that where you can say that you can accept this technology and want to use this technology, the next day you find another technology which comes in and they try to sell it that we are better than the old technology. So I think that level of saturation has not reached. There is so much of disruption happening in the technology market that we as a human are not sure when this technological advancement is going to stop, when is the right time to really take this and put it into the autonomous car, build the robo ethics, build the machine ethics, and start using it.
Right. Any other questions? Riati, have a question? I see smiles over there. No? Okay. Right. Yes. One more question, then we'll wrap up.
One side is, or actually also I think delaying this technology is the sensor technology, and more particularly LiDAR technology. Because I think there has been consensus in the industry that only LiDAR can give you that three-dimension accuracy required really to avoid collision at least. And the LiDAR technology itself is waiting for the solid state LiDAR. which and the price to go down. So this by itself, I think, is giving almost 2 years before the technology becomes commercial and not just proof of concept.
I fully agree with you. I think 2 years time, and one of the key innovation which we are really expecting in 2 years time, we're hoping to see the 5G network. As I told you earlier, that to implement and roll out autonomous vehicles anywhere, whether it's in Silicon Valley or Dubai or anywhere in the world, the 5G network will be very important. What's the now? Most of these autonomous vehicles are working on, it's not really a fully distributed AI, they're more like a decentralized AI kind of network. And the data which they have, they don't really have the full and accurate data at this point of time. There's a significant room, as you said, about the 3D mapping, which is very important. So it's not only 3D mapping, there's a lot of improvement required in other data sets also for autonomous vehicles to operate. So maybe in 2 years' time, not maybe, as in we as experts will have to push that in 2 years' time, we can push the technology provider, we can help the technology provider to come up with a technology which can help us serve the purpose if we are looking for the betterment of cities around the world.
Nadeem, thank you very much. Thank you.